Hey guys, I want to make a new video for today. Today's video is on the Spyderco bug series. This is a small knife series by Spyderco. In the series, the smallest knife is the Spyderco bug. By the way, they all come in cardboard boxes with just like a foam insert where the knives fit in. So anyway, smallest knife is the Spyderco bug. Then there is the Spyderco the Spyderco honeybee is the next largest knife. And finally, the Spyderco grasshopper is the largest knife in the series. All these knives are made out of 8CR13 MOV steel. Not the greatest steel, but you gotta look at the price point of these, and they are very cheap knives. Not bad quality, but cheap. So just let's look at the price really quick. For the bug, it sells for $10. The honeybee sells for $13, and the grasshopper sells for $20. And that's all Spyderco retail. You can find them online cheaper. Not a whole lot cheaper, but you can definitely find them cheaper. But Spyderco is offering now, you can buy all three of these in one package, and the total price is $30, so you're saving about $13, I believe, by buying the pack of three. But the pack of three the steel is 8CR, or 3CR. 3CR? Yeah, the steel is 3CR, which is slightly less quality than the 8CR MOV. That's not so bad, guys, because you're saving the your money in buying in bulk, pretty much. So let's look at the individual knives now. Yeah, just give me 1 second, guys. Alright, on to the individual knives. I do already have a video up of the Spyderco bug individually, but I'm going to talk about it again here. We're actually going to start at the biggest knife, I guess. So, this is the Spyderco grasshopper. I should mention, all of these knives are non-locking. Okay, they don't have any locking mechanism on them. The deployment hole is pretty much useless on all these knives. If I really try, I can just get the grasshopper open one-handed. All these knives come razor sharp, just like you would expect from Spyderco. Grasshopper cut me there and there. I just wasn't paying enough attention when closing it. I just cut a box or something open and looked away while I was closing it, and the blade, because it comes all the way to the edge of the handle, I had my hand like that and the knife just clipped me. It wasn't a bad cut. It was really shallow just because just the tip of the blade hit me, but they are razor sharp, just like you'd expect from Spyderco. Let's talk ergonomics really quickly. On the grasshopper, you get 3 fingers, and then the other finger just kind of wraps around. Ergonomics are pretty nice for the grasshopper, but when you're talking about some of the smaller knives, let me just get it out of the box here for you guys. Give me 1 second. Alright, so when you're talking about some of the smaller knives, you're going down to like a 2-finger grip, and by the way, there is no jimping on the back of these blades. Let me see if I can focus in here. Nope. Sorry guys, I keep bumping the tripod. Give me 1 second. Alright. Let's see. So like I said, no, not gonna be able to focus. Anyway, guys, there's no jimping on the back of these blades. It makes them a little slick, but the thumb ramp is effective. But yeah, as you get smaller and smaller, the ergonomics are still good for that small of a blade, but they're not amazing because you don't get as much of a purchase on it. So with the Bug, you get 2 fingers, and I would say that's this one is the worst ergonomics just because of how small it is. But let's talk usage here. Primary usage of these knives, I would say, is definitely a keychain knife. So you just throw it on your keys. Let me actually get my keys really quick. Alright, so just a keychain knife. If you look for a size comparison, this is the Bug. It's about the size of a key. Throw it on a keychain, you're not even going to notice it's there. So the Bug is definitely the best for a keychain knife, just because of the size of it, and I'm going to go over specs of all the knives in just 1 second. But when you go to the Grasshopper, you see that it is actually the closest to what you might call a decent-sized knife. I find you can perform all your cutting tasks, at least my day-to-day cutting tasks, with this blade. Let's just go into specs really quick before I forget. We'll start with the Grasshopper. So overall, it's 5 inches long. Closed, it is 2 3/4 inches long. The hole, 7 millimeters. Once again, pretty useless. I'm actually pretty sure when I open it one-handed, it's actually where the cutting edge meets the tang of the blade. That's what's actually helping me open it, not the opening hole. Blade length is 2.3 inches, so it is just over 2 inches. As you can see here, let me see if I can focus. It's getting there, guys. Maybe. Nope. Oh, there we go. Alright, so as you can see, 8CR13 MOV. They are all made out of it. The 2 smaller knives are not marked, though, just the Grasshopper. Anyway, so it's just over 2 inches. The cutting edge is actually 2.06 inches. So again, just barely over 2 inches. Thickness is 0.07 inches, 2.25 millimeters. Definitely not very thick, but really no problem. Comes in at 1.4 ounces, so it is very lightweight, so you can definitely throw it on the keychains. This one I feel is a little bit big for keychains, but none of them do have pocket clips, so you're not. But in the pocket carry is definitely an option. Specs on the Honeybee. 1 second, guys. Alright. Length overall is 3.6 inches. So it is a very small knife. Closed, it is 2 inches long. And hole diameter is 6 millimeters. Like I said, once you get down to this size or smaller, I cannot open the Honeybee one-handed. Maybe some of you can, but I personally can't, so the opening hole really isn't useful unless you're doing two-handed opening. It just gives you something to grab onto. But definitely not one-hand deployment, and not one-handed closure, because one-handed closure you're going to end up cutting yourself. Blade length is 1.6 inches. For some things, you might be hard-pressed to get it done with this small of a blade. But for most things, like cutting boxes, for instance, you're just going to go down at an angle just to get the tip in to cut the tape or whatever. So it might be okay for that. It is thinner than the grasshopper. It is 0.078 inches thick. And this is still made out of 8CR13 MOV. It is half an ounce, guys. It is super lightweight. It's just amazing how lightweight this is. This size, I feel like you could throw on a keychain, no problem. Sometimes what I do, actually throw the honeybee or the grasshopper in my wallet. Just throw it in a card slot. It's very thin, so it fits in there fine. And then I have a backup, or a backup really, for a knife to use. And we have one more knife to do the specs on before we get further into this video. The Spyderco bug. I do, like I said, have a separate review just on the bug. If you guys want, you can go check it out, but I'm going to be covering all the information in this video, so there's really no need. Overall, it's 2.8 inches long. Closed, it is 1.6 inches. Okay, so it is a very small knife, and it is actually has incredible, like, I know it doesn't lock up because it's a non-locking knife, but it has a lot of retention to stay open or closed. So it's not going to come open in your pockets and cut you or anything. There's no worrying about that. Blade length, 1.3 inches long. So this is a small blade. Still, I think you would be able to open boxes or open mail. It's just the ergonomics of this being just only two-finger grip. I will show you something about the ergonomics right after I'm done with the specs. Hole diameter is 0.18 inches, so it's 5 millimeters. Blade steel, same, 8CR13 MOV. It is 0.4 ounces. This is the, I believe, the lightest knife Spyderco makes. It is also the smallest. So yeah, all of them are non-locking again. All razor sharp. Let me just do a cut test now, I guess. What is this? Whatever, this'll work. So, grasshopper first. I have been using this, so it's not as sharp as it came, but it's still very sharp. Okay, no tearing, clean cuts. They're all going to be like this, but I'll just show you, I guess. Honeybee. I'm not getting long cuts just because the blade itself is so small. And finally, the bug. So it's definitely not making deep cuts just because when you pull the blade through, that's as far out, then you hit the tip and you pretty much run out of blade. But again, all clean cuts, no tearing or anything. So, talking about the ergonomics, I found that a small problem, not really a problem, it's just by design. If you want a knife so small, you're going to have to deal with it, and I dealt with it by making this. So this is a box nut lanyard on a split ring. So, I put it on a split ring simply because 550 does not actually fit through the lanyard holes on these knives. Split ring does just fine. Then you have a lanyard, you have a full hand grip, and you can see the lanyard sticks out a little. But anyway, you have a full hand grip, 2 fingers on the knife, then the other 2 fingers lock into the lanyard. So that's why I made this. Also, I put it on a split ring because then I could remove it from, say, the bug and put it on any other knife, any of the other bug series, that is, because I'm not always going to carry just one of them, so I didn't want to tie a lanyard on just one of them and have it left there. I'd rather it be switched in between the 3 knives, and I find that a really effective way to increase the blade, or the handle length, and give you a more solid grip. So let's go back to uses really quick. Package opening, kind of like a last-ditch knife, really. If you were in a situation in which you needed to use this, I would say backup to a backup, really. You might have a EDC knife on you. I would use that before I would ever use these, just because the steel isn't the greatest, so it's going to lose its edge retention. So that's why you don't want to be using it all the time, because then you're going to have to be sharpening it all the time, just because it's not that great of a steel, but it's really low price, so that's, you give and take with it. It's cheap, but it's a lower quality steel. They could have made it in a higher quality steel, but really then, as a backup knife, you really don't need that high of a quality of steel. So just on aesthetics, I would say it looks kind of similar to the Spyderco Police, if you guys have ever seen that. The stainless steel Police, it looks pretty similar to this. This is just shrunk down. And by the way, all of these knives are basically identical. They're just smaller. So they're very similar in look. They're just are different sized. For the smaller two knives, I would definitely say keychain knives. Maybe if you just wanted to have someone to have a usable blade on them. I don't want to say if you wanted like your girlfriend or wife to have a usable blade, because really I feel like they should just carry a normal size knife, like 3-inch blade. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to carry that. Like, I don't want to discriminate against them just because they're women. I feel like, but I mean, yeah, it's fine for that if you want. If they wanted to just throw this in their purse, just so they have a blade on them, that's fine. Spyderco logo is laser etched on all 3 of the knives. Let's do a size comparison as I wrap up this video. We're gonna bring out the Spyderco Endura. So for the Honeybee, as you can see, it fits entirely on the Endura's blade without a problem, which obviously means the bug is, oh yeah, there's still about 1.5 inches maybe of blade left on the Endura, and the bug is still on the blade. Like I said, this is the closest to an actual size knife. I don't want to say actual knife because it's still a knife, but you guys know what I mean. It goes about 1.25 inches onto the Endura's handle. So as you guys can see, that is the closest to the actual size knife. Let me throw in the Spyderco Manix 2. And I'm just going to throw it down on the table for you guys if I can get it all in frame, which I'm having difficulty doing. Sorry guys, I have to actually pick up the tripod to get these all in frame, just because I'm using a smaller desktop tripod right now for this review. But as you guys can see, actually let me line these up tip to tip. Sorry if this isn't in frame, I'll fix it in a second. But yeah, so that's, as you can see, the Manix 2 is definitely longer. These are smaller blades. But, for the price, they are definitely worth it. I mean, you can find the bug online, I know, for about $5. Sorry guys, just trying to get my tripod back to centered. So you can find the bug for like $5, this for like the Honeybee for $7, and this for like $12. I think those are like Amazon prices. So you can find them a little cheaper than what they go for on Spyderco, but really, it doesn't really matter that much when you're taking off $2 pretty much. I actually picked up these at Spyderco just because I do live in Colorado and I live relatively close to Golden, so I just drove down there and picked those up. But yeah, that is my review on the Spyderco Bug series. hope you guys enjoyed the video, and be looking forward to more knife reviews from me. And have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.